Rolling along fishing some boat docks right now on Tonka. Combination between my Ultrex and my Talons. The angles are really key when you're fishing boat docks. Not only to get the bites, but also to get the fish out. It's a lot like pool, you know what I mean? There's shots you can take where you get the ball in, but you're gonna scratch. So it's really important. You know, you're fishing around a lot of really heavy cover, metal, wood, stuff like that. So keeping the perfect angle when you're boat dock fishing is crucial to landing those fish. You know, I like to fish really fast, keep that Ultrex cranked up. And then, you know, when I do slide up on a really good piece of cover I like say this boat lift, I'll lock the Talons down and I can fish it thoroughly, especially if it's a place I've had a bite or I got a lot of confidence in and I want to take, you know, 3-4 shots in there before I move along. I'll lock the Talons down and pick my angles with the jig. And that way, you know, I'm a lot more effective in my landing percentage. I can take the right shots where I can still get my jig in there, but also get the fish out. You don't want to be throwing up and over stuff if you don't have to. Sometimes you do, but if you really take the time to make that right cast where you can still get your jig to where the fish is and take the least amount of cover out of the equation to get that fish out. Pontoons, there's a real short window on when it lines up perfect to make that cast. This one I'll lock those Talons down. Boom, I'm silent, quiet, in place. Now I got a straight shot in and out of that pontoon. I'm not hitting it with my jig. And if I do get a bite, I'm straight in and out with the fish. So it's easy for me to get the fish out of there, having the right angle. Rather than if I didn't have Talons or wasn't using them, at the pace I'm traveling, by the time I get my jig in there, I'm gonna be way over here. I got a bad angle trying to get the fish out. And as far as rod reel and line go for dock fishing, I like a shorter rod. Throwing a 7-foot medium heavy Daiwa Tatula Elite. I don't like a real long rod when I'm dock fishing. You got to make, you know, real precise cast, roll cast, skip cast. That long rod doesn't really benefit you anyway in that. Paired up with an 8-to-1 gear ratio Tatula SV. I really like the high speed. Lets me pick up my slack quick and also just covering water. You know, I'm running in, I'm making 2-3 casts under a dock and going to the next one. I'm not wasting a lot of time reeling my jig in, and it just makes me a lot more efficient. As far as line goes, I'd recommend either straight fluoro. I do braid to a leader just because that's how I do almost everything. I prefer it, but straight fluoro works just fine in this scenario. But it's a heavy line deal. I mean, you can definitely finesse them with some smaller stuff, but current situation, we got dirty water. Line isn't gonna matter. I recommend 20 to 25 pound test.